Hi, I'm Aries. Welcome to the Aries Girl podcast. All commentary made in this video is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only, under the guidance of the Fair Use Act of 1976. Well, now that we have that disclaimer out of the way, let's get into it. Thank you for joining the Aries Girl podcast. I am your host, Aries. On today's podcast, we are discussing Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 8, Episode 1, entitled Arrested Redevelopment. The fallout from Martel's arrest begins, with Melody increasing security around her home after hearing the news. We are introduced to two private security guards protecting Mel's home, Nico White and Marvis Young. Melody explains to Marcus that she sees Martel as unraveling and becoming unhinged. She has no idea what Martel will do after being arrested. In her confessional, she said that she has to protect herself and her children. In my opinion, Melody should take every precaution. You can't put a price on your safety. Martel is speaking with his mother Marlene about getting arrested for a text message that he sent over a year ago. Marlene appears to be dumbfounded and in disbelief that Melody would even have Martel arrested for this, since he claims the text message just asked her to stop bullying him. Marlene thinks that Melody should be a woman and handle her shit, and Martel thinks that law enforcement should get involved only if Melody is in harm's way. This is highly disturbing to watch. As a woman, I think that Marlene should redirect her disbelief towards her son Martel. The question she should ask is, why did Martel threaten to release the video on Mel? Marlene is more upset that the crime was reported instead of being upset that the crime was actually committed. If you're keeping up, Martel committed the crime, and Melody is the actual victim. Martel describes how he went to pick up some records and was informed that there was a warrant for his arrest. He had to call his mom to pick up his kids so that he could turn himself in. Marlene claims that the situation didn't have anything to do with the kids and continues to voice how upset she is about Martel's arrest. Even in Martel's confessional, he claimed that Melody is fueled by evil because she wants full custody of the kids and that children need their father more than they need a mom. In my opinion, this entire conversation between Martel and his mother appears to be scripted in order to push a false narrative. Martel's confessional also appears to be scripted in some alternate reality where Martel is the actual victim. Perhaps he really is an actor like he claimed. Melody gives her brother the details about the revenge video. Apparently, Martel was going to release the video from another Instagram account that wasn't his own in order to pretend that it was another man in the video instead of him. It was all a scheme. Melody discusses with Marcus that she wonders why Martel doesn't think he should be held accountable when he is in the wrong. When will he learn? Martel and Marlene realize that some people will see the letters DV and automatically assume that he put his hands on Melody. Marlene lets Martel know that she explains to everyone that comes to her what the charges actually mean. She wonders what her son is supposed to do since he shouldn't let people continue to come for him. In my opinion, had Martel never made the threat to Melody, he and his mother wouldn't even be having this particular conversation. She seems to be coddling her son, still. She wants him to continue being the man that he is. Wait, what? She said that with a straight face. In my opinion, being the man he is Martel's actual problem. At least he admitted to his mom that he shouldn't have sent the text message. I guess hindsight was 20/20 for Martel. As Mel continues talking to her brother, Carlos King calls her to check on her following Martel's arrest and to discuss coming to Huntsville for the podcast, whose tickets have sold out. It was not lost on me that Carlos King was labeled the creator of the show on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. Didn't Melody create the show and pitch the idea to Carlos King? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Stormy goes to visit Nell at her daycare to drop off the body glaze and catch up. Stormy informs Nell that Kiki has been giving information to bloggers regarding filmed scenes on the show. Apparently, Kiki had a falling out with these bloggers, and they provided proof that she was feeding them information. Kiki had been telling others that it was her mom that was feeding the bloggers the information. Stormy wants to hear Kiki's side before making a decision on her. In Nell's confessional, she talks about how Stormy has defended Kiki. Now, the topic changes to Martel's arrest. Nell is of the belief that those in the African American community shouldn't send each other to jail if the situation can be resolved. But in her confessional, she admits that no one knows what they will do until they are in that situation. Then the conversation changes to the upcoming Carlos King podcast, and Stormy lets Nell know that she bought tickets to attend, but has a scheduling conflict. Stormy will try to make the podcast if she can. Then Stormy asks Nell's opinion on Sonny, the former Love and Marriage Huntsville producer for Destiny. We learn that Nell has previously had FaceTime conversations with Moses through Destiny. This just adds to the Sonny, Destiny, and Moses confusion. In my opinion, Stormy's weight loss transformation is incredible, and she looks great. However, she carried a lot of bones in her conversation to Nell, and that is just not a good look. Destiny is back, and she wonders if we missed her. She goes to Tisha's house to catch up. Of course, the narrative being spun is about Moses and Sonny and how Destiny's situation is all over the blogs. Tisha thinks Sonny broke the girl code and that producers can't be trusted.
That just makes me think because you trust your producers, and it just makes me feel like, I need to hide my husband, hide the kids, hide the wife, hide everything.
Did Tisha just say she needed to hide her husband? Is that why Marceau is not on this episode? They also discussed Carlos King's upcoming podcast and stated that they weren't going because of the mellow meters. They took the opportunity to bash the mellow meters and basically called them toxic, old, broken, and unhappy. I like the progress made on Tisha's home. However, the conversation between Tisha and Destiny appeared scripted. They are trying to push a condescending narrative about Melody's fan base. Do we ever hear of Melody bashing the fan base of her castmates? I guess it is the mellow meters versus everybody. The night of the podcast has finally arrived, and we see that the line was wrapped around the building of the venue. During the podcast, Carlos states that Melody never went to the prom, so he crowns her as the prom queen and adorns her with a crown and sash. Carlos asks Melody if she ever thought that she would be a producer on OWN's #1 reality show. Melody knew that something great would come and stated that God knows what's best for us. Melody doesn't have any regrets about her life being on full display since the show started due to her fan base. Carlos asks about Mel's intimate life with Martel and even stated that Martel wasn't the only one with a hook and a curve. Carlos discusses Martel's texts to him around bringing Mel some flowers and Martel saying they were essentially actors, as well as Martel's arrest. In Mel's confessional, she wishes that Martel can go through some intensive therapy and become a better person and a better man. Carlos brings up the fact that one of his producers, Sonny, married Destiny's man Moses. Then Carlos says he will bring Sonny and Moses to the stage. Of course, the camera pans to Stormy in the crowd for her reaction to the mess while Melody yells in shock. This is immediately followed by Stormy's confessional. In Stormy's confessional, she states that what is going on is messy as hell, but she is also very much intrigued by what Sonny and Moses have to say. We are finally introduced to Sonny and Moses. I guess that is it until the next episode. I wonder what the ratio of mellometers to raindrops actually was in the audience. In my opinion, it is sad how this DV message is shown with a corresponding website at the end of the episode and not throughout the episode. I hope every cast member that downplayed what Martel did to Melody visits this site because it is a teachable moment. Well, that's my recap and commentary. Please leave a comment below and join me on the next Aries Girl podcast right here on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss an episode. I'll see you on the next podcast. Until then, take care.